Well, grok me! It seems that everyone's favorite AI assistant has made its way to Canada, at least in some models of Tesla. Grok that, I say to you. It should be fun for those who get it. And we've got some other news here. We're talking about the possibility of decreased tariffs on Chinese EVs making their way to our neighbors to the north. Well, if I'm going to talk Canada, I've got to pay my tariff, my love tariff, to Mark from the Tesla Life, who joins me, as he so often does, to talk about all kinds of things. We don't just talk about Canada. Why, yesterday I made him talk about Michigan for a minute. That was weird. Let's have a chat. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Well, what in the grok is this? Tesla's rolling out grok in Canada. If you have the newer, what is it? The AMD chip is the new one.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you have Intel, you're out of luck at this point. Although we hear that it may come later. But right now, you got to have the AMD chip.
I see. Tesla's been quietly rolling out its in-car conversational AI, Grok, to Canadian owners as part of the latest update. Interestingly, even Grok seems unaware of its Canadian release. When asked by users in Canada, it says, nah, nope.
Not yet.
Regulatory hurdles, which is on brand for Grok.
Yeah. You've had several conversations, I'm sure, Brian, with Grok.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel that Grok is on the ball most times?
No, I feel like it's on the rock, specifically crack. It depends on the topic. I saw porta potties over at the lake, and I said, "Ooh, is there an event going on?" And I asked it. It said, "Yeah, Lake Retreat is this weekend." This was like a month ago, and I'm like, no. But thanks for playing. But I did say, "Hey, what's that one song about the one thing from the band?" And it's, "Oh yeah, this one." I'm like, that's it. And I did ask Grok to suggest bands similar to a band I liked. And I did find some new music that way that Spotify never suggested. So Grok has its benefits, but it's got plenty of faults as well.
Yeah, so you got to know. You want to play with it a little bit out there. Let us know in the comments what you think Grok does for you.
What can Grok do for you? So much better than the UPS slogan. Who on earth approved that one? You remember the slogan?
No.
Do you remember? UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Oh, yes. What can Brown do?
What on earth are you thinking? Why? The images. Oh, so dumb. No, let's go with this. This is a good campaign, you guys. Now, some of these next headlines are a bit hyperbolic. Canada set to side with China on EVs. Many speculate without actual evidence.
Yes.
The Ottawa government.
Speculation at this point. It's something that Canada, before the new administration was brought in, we sided with the United States when it came to EVs from China. We put 100% tariff on it, as America had done. Since our auto industry was so tied at the hip at that time, it felt like it was the right decision to do. But with tariffs rolling in, with the new administration saying that they want to basically close Canadian automobile manufacturing and bring it back south across the border into the United States, Canada is going to be left out in the cold, figuratively and literally, when it comes to automotive manufacturing, if this trend continues. And we have to look at other options that are available to us for how are we going to get our vehicles. Yes, there are Honda plants here, there are Toyota plants here, but the big three are slowing down and in some cases stopping.
Let me run this by you and you tell me how this sounds in terms of my understanding. The U.S. implemented steep tariffs on Chinese EVs, went to Canada and said, you should do the same. We're trying to protect North American manufacturing. Canada did the same. The U.S. turned around and said, well, not that far north. I mean, middle North America. And now what I've tried to warn all kinds of countries about big tariffs on Chinese EVs is that if you look at any country that doesn't have a domestic industry to protect, those EVs will not appear. You will end up on a level playing field with Chinese manufacturers. So if you're the US and you are in the process of dismantling Canadian manufacturing of automobiles, specifically EVs, this lowers the incentive to participate in those steep tariff wars. Um, if there is no car industry to protect in Canada, Canadians just want the best car for the money, right?
That's what it turns into. If we have manufacturing eliminated or greatly reduced, there's going to be no incentive to protect Canadian jobs. So you know what? We may as well get the best car we can get for the money.
May as well. More speculation, Jalopnik here. No more Canadian tariffs on Chinese cars? Question mark. No, is the. I mean, there will still be tariffs, just maybe not 100%. PM Carney is meeting with Xi Jinping. This may be the start. Yeah.
This is more of it. Carney went over to Asia for a recent Asian Pacific Economic Summit, and these type of things are being tabled. It's not like the rest of the world isn't noticing what America is doing to Canada and to other countries. The word has gotten out that tariffs are the rule in the U.S. at this point, not the exception. So there are a number of countries that are trying to figure out ways to avoid these tariffs. And all these nations are talking at these summits and trying to figure out how they can help themselves and other countries with this latest issue.
But here's the proof. The meetings will cover a broad range of issues, including commercial relationship as well as global system. That doesn't feel like proof to me that tariffs are going to no more car tariffs. No, comma, more car tariffs. Yeah, we don't know. We don't. And Carney doesn't himself know. I don't believe. I'm not as familiar with Canadian politics. He doesn't have the power to unilaterally raise or lower tariffs, does he?
He doesn't, but he has strong ability to point the ship in the direction that he believes it should go.
Indeed, all facts. Last big story to get to. Guys, we answer your questions at the end of these videos. We will do it again today. There are great questions you guys ask, and some quite silly, which we also answer. The EV industry, Globe and Mail. By the way, if you like good journalism, why are you reading Globe and Mail? The EV industry is sputtering. Too bad Ontario bet so heavily on a battery-driven future. Oh, Eric, what are you doing?
And this really is unfortunate because, as mentioned, Ontario did bet big on EVs. And outside of China, again, China was at the center of this is because they controlled a lot of the minerals that were used in battery packs. So the world wanted another choice outside of China. Canada has these supply lines. They have fledgling mines that have this product, but they needed time to start to develop them, get them up to speed. And we thought this is perfect. We can start to create these supply lines in Canada to support North American cars. And with the new administration, everything has changed around dramatically. And the tariffs on top of it, we've got an issue where Ontario has bet large on this. We've spent money. We've drawn in other companies to build EVs, to build battery plants. We have the mines developing, and a lot of this is now in danger of stopping.
Yeah, that's maybe the third time you've told me I need to develop my mind better. You know what? We'll move on. I think that joke's good enough just as it is. Speaking of good enough just as it is, that's a terrible segue. CyberFest and Furious in just about 2 weeks now. I'm going to be out there. You should join us. It'll be a lot of fun. All kinds of good stuff. And for some reason, they've announced only that Eli Burton will be there, but didn't mention me. Oh, man.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That's actually a different event. But maybe that's when they announce it. Anyway, Eli will be there. If you have the Starman comics, bring one for him to sign. I've got one. I just don't remember where I put it, but I will find it. One or two I've got. I don't have more than that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hang out, do stupid stuff with us. We have a blast. You know what else is a blast? Answering questions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did we get it?
I think so.
We'll find out. On this, love your show. I watch you on many channels. Very cool. Love your knowledge and sense of humor. I also love that you bring straight facts, even with someone has no idea. Someone has ideas that need to be simplified. But this is the best because you have a Canadian, eh? Go iOS.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Question mark is in there. I have to answer. Once supervised FSD is unsupervised and semi can drive itself, will the FSD team start working on full self racing? I think it'd be amazing to see an empty plaid compete against real racing teams on a track.
Yeah, I don't think so, but that's an interesting idea. If you had a whole bunch of cars that were racing completely without humans in it, is that as exciting as a bunch of cars with humans controlling them? Because the FSD is going to stop them from bumping each other or crashing.
Well, they'll rubbing is racing. I think they will make limited contact, but I don't think it would have sustained interest. I think there would be a novelty factor in the beginning. And once it's dialed in, you just watch a bunch of dialed in cars do a dialed in car thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Different teams could tweak their autonomy in slightly different ways. I don't know.
I was going to say it's very similar to an RC race, but really it's not, because RC races are controlled by humans on the other end of the controls.
I was going to say Robot Wars, except those are also controlled by humans. So I don't know, man. And I would say that I don't want to see FSD on the track with a human. I think that's too dangerous. I think the liability issue would be crazy. And to put a 5,000-pound rocket on the track, unmanned against meat-driven machines would be, I don't know. I think it'd be too dangerous. Is it a ramp in the test track area? We've addressed that, but your thought?
It seems to be some sort of a ramp, yes, but not sure if it's going to be anything jumping off that ramp. I would think that would be prohibitive.
I don't. They mean for display sake.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I do think it is a display ramp. When Zangler approaches by road, he cannot see the ramp. I think what you place atop it would be visible from the ramp. So while you can't see the ramp itself, the mound, yeah.
You know what we should do? We should get an exterior photo or an above photo of the location and just put an X on it and show where it is close to the roads, so that we would have an idea. Oh, is that a main road? Is that the road in? That would make sense if that
it
was
is right next to the. It is right next to the road in.
Okay.
And we have looked at it from that angle, but it's hard to see what you would see from the ground.
Yes.
I don't know how far up you would need to go, and we'll find out soon enough. How far from production are we?
We're in production almost, but as mentioned, it's been pushed back to the fourth quarter of this year. That was the last guidance we got. And from what we've seen in the past Zangler videos, we've still got a lot of equipment outside the plant that hasn't been installed yet or is in the process of being installed. So here we are, end of October, and we've got 2 months left in the year, and we haven't got all the equipment on the line yet. So as Brian, I believe, mentioned last week, we're looking at next year for real production.
First half is my hope. If we're 2 weeks out, 2 months out, and really we could say 9-10 weeks out as of the last drone footage, and the paint shop hasn't been put in, we're not going to see I think at the earnings call they'd said trial production in early Q1 and volume production by Q2. We'll see. It's about time. Will iWest be assembling RoboVan? RoboVan. It's not.
Possibility of
It's
it, but
possible.
really, we don't know for sure. And of course, Tesla's not going to talk about the assembly of RoboVan anytime soon. That's a further down the road type thing.
It's not on the roadmap. You can look at the quarterly earnings, and it'll show you semi in development or pilot production, Roadster in design stage. RoboVan's not on that list because it is not in development at this time. It was a proof of concept. It was a dream builder, is what it really was. Question I don't know the answer to here. Mandatory comment. Does me clicking on hype this video help you at all? I have no idea.
Good question. The hype thing showed up recently, and to be honest, I really don't know what the hype does.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know too. So
put it in the comments. Let us know what you believe hype does.
If you have an answer, who is Ray and where did he get all that darkness that he was shooting into the factory? See, last week I shared the scientific wisdom that skylights at night let dark in. And
the dark ray.
Ray darkness. And interestingly, in the comments, no one disputed it. Fact check true. Checkmate. Pretty sure that's definitely how it works. I don't know. I don't know who Ray is, but having grown up in the 90s, I can tell you that It's a Shame About Ray was a song by the Lemonheads. Okay.
Ray is dark and mysterious.
Yeah. Since when has effort required ever stopped Tesla? They have tons of concrete hacked to bits north of Giga, Texas. They have tons of... So I don't know what that's in reference to. I could click on it to find out, but there's a limit to doing things that are impossible because there are things that you could do that are very, very difficult that are worth it and ones that are not, So I think that's the limit. Effort required. Tesla does not shy away from that. Look at the doors on the Model X. Effort. So much effort. Random comment. GM's new design center caught fire, possibly caused by a prototype. Happenstance, fate, or divine intervention. Worth noting, is it the Celestic or the Optic? One of the super expensive one that they're only going to make a handful of is actually manufactured in their prototype center because they know the volume would never reach a level high enough for it to make sense to build out a line. So maybe it's that, but I think divine intervention is probably the right answer. I feel like it is. Sun always rises at the same speed. That doesn't sound right. It just depends where you are and the time of year. So it'll rise at the same time once a year in the same place. Is that enough confusion for you? Well, Ted, I think you're just making stuff up. Because one time I was lost in the woods and I had no compass and the sun rose in the west. So...
Nothing but scientific here. Nothing but it. Yes.
That's... When are you doing another show in the Northwest? I think February. I'll be at the Portland Auto Show in February. And then I don't remember when. Go to oeva.org. Whenever we do a ride and drive event, I'm there. I'm presenting. So that would probably be the next show. I want to say that's in maybe January. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me right now because the dates are not finalized yet and I only have an idea. And are there fish in that retention pond? And if so, what type?
I'd say no at this point, but someone may seed the pond. Who knows?
I don't think it would be habitable. I think it would be filled with too much silt and inorganic material. There are no fish in that pond. The largest one you might find is a mosquito larva, would be my guess. 3 mandatory comments.
Well, Jamie, you do 3 every week anyway. So like, come on,
Jamie
stop
did
kidding with
provide.
us.
Jamie did provide 3. As you go down there, they're all there. And the last one, I think this one we can end on this one. Comment.
Yes,
Yeah,
comment.
that's please.
What we want. Comment.
Correct. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Leave it, I beg of you. If you are really feeling in a generous mood, you can support the channel. I've got, bills to pay, and I'm just about out of Sky Miles. So that's coming to a close. I will be scaling back my travel accordingly. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.